Ba-da-bum, 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 ba-ba, ba-ba.
All right, Week 9 NFL. Kick it off Thursday night. The Jets are at the Colts. Jets, just they do this every year. It seems like they basically wipe out a good chunk of every survivor pool. They surprise and beat a team you don't expect them to beat. Mike White throws for 400 yards against the Bengals. So the Jets for a week, look good. They'll probably come back to earth here, although the Colts is certainly a beatable team for them. But I'll take the Colts here because the Colts have better players, and there's no way Mike White's doing that 2 weeks in a row. All right, Sunday early afternoon games. Let's see. You got Cleveland and Cincinnati. Bengals need to bounce back. Cleveland, OBJ is now becoming a distraction for the Browns. It looks like he was not at practice this week, at least up in Wednesday and Thursday anyway. And I don't know if they're going to release him or they're just going to let him do nothing and then cut him next year when it doesn't cost him as much money. And who cares? I don't know why guys. I don't know what guys want. I mean, Baker Mayfield's your quarterback. He's going to get you the ball some of the time, and the other time he's not. So I don't know what his problem is, but whatever. I think Cincinnati win the game because they need to bounce back, and I just think that Cleveland's just not right. Denver's at Dallas. The Broncos traded Von Miller to the Rams. Not that it was going to matter much in this game, but appreciate the gesture. Look, Cowboys coming off a big win. You go up to Minnesota. You got Cooper Rush back there, and listen, they executed the game plan that they needed to do to win that game. Run the ball. Time of possession. Don't make mistakes. Now they still made a couple of stupid mistakes. Look, I've had it with guys. They had a guy like jump off sides on like a punt. Listen, guys, when the other team is punting you the ball, just let them punt the ball. You're not going to block it. All right, you're not going to return it for a touchdown. The only thing stupid you can do is jump off sides or run into the punter, and then you ruin getting possession. Just stand there, let them kick the ball. That's it. That's all you got to do. But anyway, a couple mistakes by the Cowboys, but not enough to overtake it. And Cooper Rush, getting it done in the last minute there. And listen, this team's for real now. I mean, when you can go on the road and win with your star player on the bench because of injury, that is a sign of a quality team. So the Cowboys aren't going anywhere, and there's nobody on the schedule that we can't beat. So, but anyway, they beat the Broncos this week, that's for sure. Houston's at Miami. 2-1-7 teams. Tyrod Taylor comes back for Houston. I'm almost tempted to take Houston here just because Miami is such a mess, but I'm not trusting Houston on the road as if that means anything. They could play this game on a moon. Nobody cares. I'll take Miami. Atlanta's at New Orleans. Saints are basically now without a quarterback for the rest of the year. They got to do some combination of Simeon and what's his face, Taysom Hill. Winston's out for the year. Atlanta was looking good, and then they get a bad loss at home to Carolina. Now they got to come into New Orleans, and now they got no Ridley. They still have other weapons, but Saints are able to shut down big time players here and there. I don't know who's going to win this game. The Saints should probably win the game. I wouldn't be surprised if Atlanta does. I'll pick the Saints, but the Saints can still get in the playoffs, and Atlanta, I don't know. You just can't trust Atlanta ever again. But that's what it is. I'll take New Orleans. Las Vegas. The next two games I'm gonna treat as a kind of combination here. You got Las Vegas at the Giants, and you got the LA Chargers at Philly. You play it late afternoon Sunday. Here's the thing. One of these, you got two teams going across the country with good offenses to go play garbage teams in the Eastern Time Zone. And really, listen, the Raiders and Chargers should both win these games. One of these teams is going to lose. I don't know who it is. Probably the Raiders because they got a lot of mess to deal with this week. And the Giants are a little bit better than Philly. They played well in Kansas City last week. But one of these two teams is going to lose on the East Coast. I just don't know which one it is. I can't decide. So we'll take it like that. But again, Chargers at Philly, same thing. Chargers should win the game. They should be able to outscore Philly. I know they put up 44 on Detroit last week, but Detroit's terrible. But again, these are going to be tough games for these West Coast teams coming across the country. One of them's going to lose. I can't decide who it is. But there you go. New England's at Carolina. Carolina, road win against Atlanta. New England, a nice road win against the Chargers. I'm going to take New England here because it just looks like they're a little bit more solid right now. Donald is, coming out of concussion protocol. They're kind of sloppy. I'll take New England. Buffalo's at Jacksonville. I mean, come on, guys. Buffalo's going to win the game. Again, they're going to stomp all over this team. The Jaguars are going nowhere. Bills are the best team in the AFC. Blah blah blah. Minnesota is at Baltimore. Minnesota. Listen, never underestimate the Vikings' ability to come up small in a big game. And they got tricked on Halloween night with Cooper Rush. Now they got to come into Baltimore. Baltimore's coming off the bye. Baltimore. They've had 2 weeks to sit on that loss to Cincinnati, so they'll probably come out cannons firing. Minnesota can hang with them offensively, but I take Baltimore to win the game. Hopefully, we just get a nice high-scoring fantasy game here, because a lot of key fantasy guys in this one. I'll take Baltimore. Late afternoon again. Chargers Philly. I already kind of covered that. Either they're going to win and the Raiders lose, or vice versa. Green Bay's at Kansas City. This would have been a huge game, and would have been hopefully a high-scoring pinball game, but Rodgers is out because of COVID. And listen, the Chiefs, just a terrible win for them. I don't know if it doesn't make any sense, but they did not look good against the Giants. And if the Giants had been any better of a football team, they would have buried the Chiefs. I don't know what's wrong with them. I mean, yeah, they're turning the ball over, but some of these turnovers are like tip balls up in the air, and it just seems like watching the Chiefs, like they're struggling for everything right now, and they're resorting to all these trick plays and ridiculous Mahomes, movements to just to get a first down. Like it's not even. I don't know. Everything seems like a struggle with Kansas City right now. And I don't know. And listen, they haven't figured out what to do with Mahomes when he's pressured. I mean, I don't know how anybody didn't figure this out before the Super Bowl last year, but Tampa Bay friggin' exposed the playbook. I mean, you get the right pressure on Mahomes, and it all falls apart. And I don't know, and they haven't figured out a way to counter that yet, and that's why they're struggling for everything. And quite frankly, they're fortunate Rodgers is not in this game because I would have picked Green Bay to win. But I mean, I mean, listen, you can't beat Jordan Love at home. I don't know what to tell you. That being said, don't be surprised if this game is a struggle. Don't be surprised if they somehow keep this game close. But I'll take Kansas City to win. But man, they are a mess. Arizona's at San Francisco. Cardinals coming off the rough loss against Green Bay. Listen, they're still one of the top teams. 49ers, listen, the 49ers are starting to get it together a little bit, but you don't trust them to be consistent. And Arizona's had, a little extra time to get prepared for this one. Now, again, Murray's dinged up and Hopkins is dinged up. So, I mean, if one of them doesn't play, then it's a different story. But if they're in there, Arizona finds a way to win this game. Tennessee is at the LA Rams Sunday night. Again, here's another big game that's kind of watered down now because star player is out. Derrick Henry, out, probably out for the year or at least till playoffs. and you're going up against that Rams defense. Now again, Tennessee will find a way to hang in the game. The Rams will win, but I mean, fire up Adrian Peterson and Jeremy McNichols in your fantasy team. Because what else are you going to do if you lost Derrick Henry? What else are you going to do? Listen, McNichols he'll catch balls out of the backfield. Peterson will get goal line looks, so they're both probably good for 12 points tops. So maybe you get lucky on with one of them, but Rams will win this game. And then Monday night you get Chicago with Pittsburgh. I mean, Steelers are going to win. I mean, Chicago, Fields looked better last week. But he's not going into Pittsburgh and getting a win. Steelers, I think, are coming off. No, Steelers beat Cleveland last week, which is kind of like coming off a bye, or at least it used to be. But Pittsburgh's a better team. They're better football players, so I'm going to take the Steelers to beat the Bears. So there you go. So we get an early one with the Cowboys on Sunday. That'll be nice. My son's baseball season's over, so we can just relax and enjoy football now the rest of the year. And hopefully we just take care of business against Denver. I don't want any BS, but Cowboys are looking more and more like a non-BS team. So that looks good. So we'll check them out Sunday, and there you go, Week 9 NFL.